Hello everyone, I'm Will and this is Not on Film and Review. So it's Wednesday and I thought I'd drop you a new video about some film news as well as some rescheduled dates for films that should be out throughout 2020 and have now changed their dates. So let's get on with it. So first up, John Krasinski has been in a meeting with Marvel, something that we are all excited about. If you don't know who I'm talking about, where have you been? John Krasinski is an amazing actor, but also the writer and creator of A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2, which I'll talk about the rescheduled date later on. But first things first, he has had a meeting with Marvel. Now, number one, something that has been going around and is a fan favourite is for him to play Mr. Fantastic in the remake of Fantastic Four. We say remake, but obviously, as you all know, now Disney own Marvel, they are recreating everything for it to all link with all the different stories. Now, one of the things that we have heard is that Fantastic Four are going to possibly feature in one of the other Marvel films soon. He is the fan favourite to play Mr. Fantastic. Fingers crossed, because I think he would be ideal for this role. But who knows? The other thing that Marvel are currently looking for is writers for the Young Avengers. Now, he would be fantastic for that. As I said, he wrote and directed, starred in, etc. for A Quiet Place. With that sci-fi element, he would be very well suited to the Marvel world. Would he fit in? Would his writing sit well with the other films? That's really hard to say at this moment in time, but I think with the work that he's doing and the intelligence that he could put into it, I think it could be really well suited. So let me know what you think. Do you think his meeting with Marvel was due to Young Avengers as a writer, or as Mr. Fantastic, fingers crossed, for the new Fantastic Four? Stay tuned, as soon as I know, I'll let you know. Let's crack on. And now on to some horror news. If you don't know this name, Gary Dauberman, he is the writer behind It Chapter 2, Annabelle Comes Home, Annabelle Creation, and has also been the writer for The Nun and pretty much those sort of films in that world. He has now been set as the director for the remake of Salem's Lot. That's Stephen King's Salem's Lot. As you can see, a lot of Stephen King's films are being remade, redone, and done the way that he wanted. I've not seen anything online to say that Stephen King has gone, I'm really pleased that it's Gary, but what I do know is I think he's going to do a good job. I do have slight worries. Number one, the writing for films such as It Chapter 2, Annabelle Creation are fantastic, and I know that he will be able to lend his writing skills to it, and those films are great. My worry is The Nun and the last Annabelle we got, Annabelle Comes Home, in my opinion, weren't very good. I know some people really enjoyed these films, but for me, I felt they were really lax, not only in the writing, but just as a film in general. Is it because we've had repeats of these films? I don't know. The Nun obviously is a character that sat in so many of these films in the universe of that world. Is it because we've got used to these characters and therefore they're not scary? Or personally, did you think they were boring, not right? Let me know and drop a comment below. That's my only worry with him being involved with this film. But looking at the other ones that are good, as long as those things are applied to Salem's Lot, I think we could have a good film on our hands. Especially after we had Dr. Sleep earlier in the year, and personally I thought it was fantastic. So if we can keep these Stephen King films being done right, I think we might have a good one on our hands. So fingers crossed, no Nun or Annabelle Comes Home style film. We have him in his full and get a great film. So there you go. Gary Dauberman has now been confirmed as the director for Stephen King's Salem's Lot. Let's see what happens. Keeping up with some film news before I talk about some rescheduled dates. Number one, Trolls World Tour was released on April 6th for home release, so you were able to, and still are able to, rent that film and watch it at home for 48 hours, or if you don't push play, you've got it for 30 days. Now, it's available on so many platforms such as PlayStation, YouTube Movies, Amazon Prime, Sky, Virgin, and so many more. It has now been announced today that it is actually the biggest debut VOD release ever. That's of all time. No other film that's been released on demand has had this much views. So that's fantastic, considering the film prior to that was number one, which I can't remember off the top of my head. It is beaten that tenfold, which is fantastic. Well done for them, and I hope it does make them be able to rake some of the money back. I know the first film made about 350 million on its first release, and due to that obviously was very popular and led to the second one. Due to this being released at home, has this made enough money to cover things? I don't know. Obviously it's created a lovely trophy for itself, being the biggest digital release ever, so I'm intrigued to see what it is. Universal and DreamWorks have not released any details on how much is actually made due to this or anything like that. All they've said is it is the biggest release on VOD. So interesting, and round of applause, Trolls World Tour. We watched it the other night, and honestly, it was really good fun for adults and children and family alike. So if you haven't seen it yet, it is available for you to watch and rent on many different streaming platforms. That's Trolls World Tour. I hope you enjoy it. Next up, back to a horror film, one that I'm genuinely excited about. It was 3C Films that actually introduced me to this and the news of the film, and I've been looking into it. The film sounds really exciting, but there's still no release date, no trailer, and we have no idea what's going on with it. It's a new film that's going to be heading to Netflix, by Netflix, and directed by Zack Snyder. He's obviously involved with many of the films that we really wanted to see his version of, i.e. Justice League, but he's an incredible director and very, very good at what he does. He's doing this film which is called Army of the Dead. Now, some of you may think, oh, does that mean we're getting another zombie film? Yes, it does, but it looks like we're going to get a different style and different version of it. It's a zombie movie meets a heist movie during an apocalyptic Las Vegas, and a team of soldiers that decide to go into that section where it's covered in zombies and do a big heist that could change their lives. That's the details I've read online. I don't know too much. I know people like Dave Bautista is part of this film. And from the pictures, there's a couple of images online that you can find. It looks like it's going to be really good, and especially the team that's behind it, it could be fantastic. Now, as you know, this is a Netflix film, and Netflix sometimes just drop them out of the blue. So for all we know, we could get it this weekend. I very much doubt it, but who knows? Fingers crossed we get a trailer soon, and fingers crossed we find out when it's going to be released. Most probably around Halloween, I reckon, but no announcement, so it could be at any time. Let me know what you think. Does it sound interesting? Army of the Dead? Have a Google, see some more information, more than I've given you. Who knows? Have a little look. That's Army of the Dead coming to Netflix sometime soon. Staying on the subject of Netflix, a film that I keep mentioning briefly on my live videos is Extraction. It's a film that comes out next week starring Chris Hemsworth. It's got the same directors as Endgame, that's the Russo brothers, and I'm really, really intrigued by it. I'm staying short and sweet with this because I want you to watch the trailer. It's available to watch online on IMDb and many other services, and that comes out on April 24th. It looks to be like a really good action film and filmed really well. Have a little look. It's called Extraction, and that's available on April 24th on Netflix. Hope you enjoy it. Now, to finish this video, I'm going to talk about some rescheduled dates for films. I'll plow through a few of them, and then I'll move on to a horror section, so you've got some horror films to look forward to from September until October. So let's crack on with it. So, number one is the Bond film, a film that obviously a lot of people were looking forward to this April, and it's called No Time to Die. That film was due out, as I say, in April, and is now coming out on the 12th of November this year. So that's number one. Disney's Mulan has moved to July. Fingers crossed cinemas will be open by then, and if so, that release date is now going to be July 24th. Next up, and sticking with your Disney and your Marvel, Black Widow was supposed to be out in May, but they have now switched their film date to the 6th of November. Very much looking forward to this and really pleased that we're going to be seeing this in the cinema. From the looks of the camera angles and directing, it's going to be one that's well worth watching in IMAX. I know I'll be seeing it that way. Fingers crossed it is as good as the trailer shows it to be, but that is now the 6th of November. If you're a fan like I am, which I'm a massive fan, SpongeBob is getting another movie, and that film is going to be called Sponge on the Run. It was due out soon, but it is now on the 31st of July. Again, a film that's not that far away, as long as cinemas open in July. So that is Sponge on the Run, 31st of July, starting the summer off. Woohoo! One that I know a lot of people are very much looking forward to, but also in two minds, is Top Gun Maverick. That's Top Gun 2, and that has now changed its release date to this December 23rd. Now, I double checked that date online. The reason I say this is because I don't know if that's going to be America or if that's going to be a worldwide release date, but from what I gather, it's going to be December 23rd. Going to be an interesting watch and intrigued to see where the story goes and what they're going to do with it. That's Top Gun Maverick on December 23rd. And my final film that makes me very sad, because I was so excited for the release of this year, is Ghostbusters Afterlife. I only saw the re-release date today, and it is now going to be March the 5th, 2021. It's a long way to go, but I'm sure this time will fly by. As soon as we go back to normal, whatever normal may be, I'm sure it will fly by. March the 5th, 2021 is Ghostbusters Afterlife release date. Fingers crossed, we'll get another trailer, I'm sure, before then. But if you haven't seen it already, there's a teaser and a full trailer available for you to watch online. So let's just finish off with some horror releases in order for you to look forward to that are coming out this year. So let's reel off that list. Forever Purge, a film that is still sticking to its release date, which is actually going to be July the 10th. I'm sure that means we'll get many other horror trailers released at the same time. So fingers crossed it does. That will be July 10th for Forever Purge, which is the 5th or 6th Purge film. Who knows? Have a look. Next up, Quiet Place 2. I know I mentioned it at the start of the video. There is a second one. We were supposed to have it out already. I'm really looking forward to the film. But the release date now is still this year. Thank you so much. It is going to be September the 5th. Starting off our horror season with a bang. Fingers crossed. A few people have already seen it. I've seen some mini reviews online and they have said it is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's Quiet Place 2 on September 5th. Next up, the week after, is The Conjuring 3. I'm really interested to see where this goes. Out of the whole Conjuring universe, they're the films that I actually really enjoy. I'm intrigued to see what the story's going to be based on. Conjuring 3 comes out September 11th. Let's see what happens with that one. Keeping Up the Order is one that everyone is talking about, especially after the advanced screenings, test screenings they did at the beginning of this year. Halloween Kills, the sequel to the remake only 2 years ago, is coming out on October 16th. I am so excited to see what this film is going to be like, especially after seeing the reviews. People are saying this is the best Halloween film we're ever going to get, which is really exciting considering that this one has still got another film that is coming out next year. So we're still going to get Halloween Ends, I believe it's called. I might be wrong on that, but that's coming out next October. So we're going to get Halloween Kills this October on October 16th and another one next year, which links. So how it's going to work and how it can be that good sitting in the middle of a trilogy is going to be fascinating. So that's Halloween Kills, October 16th. Cannot wait. I hope you watch it. I know I'll be reviewing the film for you on this channel. So fingers crossed, October 16th, we get a winner. And to finish off the horror films, Rescheduled is Candyman. A film that we were expecting out in June is now moved to October, which is great because it obviously sits around the Halloween season. And that comes out on the 25th of October. thank God we are getting it this year. I was really excited about it and cannot wait to see what they do with this remake. So everyone, that is all I've got time for. Stay tuned, and for now, subscribe to my channel. I'm Norton Film and Review. Thank you so much for your support and subscribing. Don't forget to like the video as well, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye bye!